So the argument that I see a lot of people using online is that the woman in Atlanta brought it on herself because of her attitude as to how the officer handled her. And I just go back to the way that societies created this narrative about who the police are. As far as I know, they're still considered public servants, and they are supposed to protect and serve. My whole thing is, if you look at police officers who are public servants, the way you look at any other public servant, firefighters, social workers. Social workers is one I use all the time because I'm a social worker, okay? When you deal with the public, no matter who you are, you're dealing essentially in customer service. Teachers, retail, restaurant, you name it, okay? We're all human and we have different emotions. Every day brings something different for people. So that means that you don't get Susie Homemaker from everybody every single day. People have attitudes. People are entitled. Some people are downright rude and disrespectful for whatever the reason. You don't know what that person just experienced. You don't know how that person was, what their history is. So when you deal with the public, you're going to get a different response. As an employee of the city, county, town, whatever, a public servant, you're on your job, okay? And part of your job is customer service. And to a certain extent, taking people's whatever, whether it's kindness, respect, whatever. Yes, ideally, we would all respect each other all the time. That is not realistic. Some of y'all's kids don't even respect you. Let's be real, okay? That said, when you're on your job, there's a certain level of restraint that you're supposed to have, no matter who you are. So if you have a customer, I've had plenty of clients over the years call me out my name, talk to me crazy, whether it's because they were older than me and felt like, who's this young kid trying to tell me whatever, even though all I'm trying to do is help them. People talk to me crazy. There are certain powers that I've had because I've had access to do certain things or not do certain things. I never wielded my power in those instances because you know what, you got it. Usually when a client's been rude to me, I kill them with kindness, and that usually can bring somebody down. But when that hasn't worked, I've either given the information they needed and gotten out of the conversation, or there have been times when I've had to say, you know what? Clearly, you cannot speak to me respectfully right now, and you are not in a space where we can communicate. So I'm ending this conversation right now, whether that's in person or that's on the phone. While I understand being an officer, there are different scenarios that come up all the time, and officers do have a certain power to arrest. There are too many that walk around with their ego on their shoulder and let somebody's attitude get the best of them personally, because I'm 1,000% sure that woman's attitude didn't have nothing to do personally with that officer. She didn't know that man. I say all this to say, if as a social worker, I responded in kind to a client, I can guarantee I would have lost every job I ever had. I would have never lasted. All that I'm saying is, yes, officers have the power to arrest people. Yes, they have the power to give tickets. But there are officers that also understand that people are human and have different emotions, and they do not stoop to the level of the person that they're dealing with. The video before this is a prime example of an officer. Regardless, I don't want to get into the conversation about because of race, although I'm sure that played a role. I'm tired of it, okay? I'm tired of it. But clearly, there are officers that know how to de-escalate a situation versus letting their ego get the best of them. Listen, Perhaps that woman deserved to be arrested. I don't know. I don't know the letter of the law, okay? What I do know is she did not deserve to be abused while she was arrested because that man's ego was bruised. And in those instances, because just like so many other instances where officers, I'm sure, have been pissed, they've been annoyed, they're human too, right? That does not give them the right to fling people around like they're ragdoll because you didn't like the way somebody spoke to you. You were in the wrong job. Whether you're an officer or any other public official, city official, civil servant, and you can't handle customer service. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. That's my little 4 cents on that. Do better.